FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
You see, really, and you assert in the book on several occasions, that there really can't be a successful religious state. In other words, religion is not the thing that really, truly, successfully binds people in a geographic space. So what does that mean is going to happen in a place like Saudi Arabia, for instance, or in a place like Israel?
Yeah. Well, in Saudi, I mean, this is a country that is sort of, I mean, I don't know how long that kingdom has. I guess the best way to put it is that it's rotting from within, and it's going to collapse, and it's going to collapse soon. And my suggestion is that we get out of there before it does. But when it comes to a country like Israel or Palestine, where religion is a matter of national identity, then we have to recognize that this kind of, I mean, look, religion, it may not be the best way to sort of form a collective identity in a geographic location, but religious nationalism is a very real phenomenon. And it's not necessarily all that weird for people in a democratic society to want their particular morals or values or traditions and customs to be reflected in society. That's not so strange, as long as there are the proper safeguards in place.
But in the globalized society that you're talking about, that's just not practical.
Right, and this is exactly the thing, is that religion, as we all know, can't be contained in geographic borders. It's a force that cannot be controlled by the state, no matter how hard the state tries. And in that regard, I think you're going to see religious nationalism in some ways begin to fade away, but it can't be suppressed the way that it's been suppressed thus far. We can't say to Hamas, you can't be part of the discussion. We can't say to a group like Hezbollah, you're not allowed to be part of the marketplace of ideas in your country because of your religious viewpoint. This is not a conversation starter. So at the very least, what we need to do is allow these so-called religious nationalist groups to have an opportunity to fail. Because one of two things is going to happen. Either they'll fail and they'll be voted out of office, or they'll do what a lot of religious nationalists have done, including the Justice and Development Party in Turkey, the most democratic party that country has ever seen, which is moderate their ideology, moderate their behavior in the face of realpolitik. I mean, if you've got to keep the lights on, if you've got to make sure that the checks arrive on time to your civil servants, there's not a lot of room left for ideological thinking.
But the monarchy in Saudi Arabia, you point out, did a pretty good job of sort of co-opting radical movements within their own country. I mean, and certainly suppression appears to have been a huge part of that, maybe.
Yeah, and what happened? It came back to bite them in the ass. I mean, that's really the issue that the Saudis are dealing with right now, is that for decades they fed these movements. They thought, well, we can control them. There are extremists, so we can sort of maintain some control.
Right. Well, they also sort of the religious basis. Maybe I've got this wrong, so please correct me if I do. But Wahhabi, that's a concept that really fueled, right? Wasn't it part of the concept that fueled jihadis?
Absolutely. It's the very foundation, this sort of ultra-puritanical sect.
There's no point there, other than I found that ironic as I was reading the book to be reminded.
Well, but here's the point. Here's the point: is that you can't control fundamentalism. You may think that you could sort of feed it and keep it in a cage, and that it will you can sort of have control over it. But it's been proven over and over again, whether it's here in Christian America or in Saudi Arabia, that given the opportunity, this is a movement that will devour its parents. Right. And this is exactly what the Saudis realized belatedly, that oops, these people are going to destroy us from within. And yet they have maintained these various pseudo-charities that pump billions of dollars, almost $100 billion since 1975, into promoting precisely this kind of religiosity, Wahhabi religiosity.
To keep it at arm's length. That's the concept.
Keep it at arm's length, which you just can't do. This is a you know, I mean, to take this metaphor one step further, I mean, this is a beast that cannot be caged. It will, at the first chance, devour you.